Disney Plus has produced a variety of TV shows since its launch in 2019, and among them is a fantasy show that is the best combination of WandaVision and Doctor Who, which became one of the platform's best fantasy shows to date. Disney Plus has covered several genres with its original TV shows, of which some now rank among the best TV shows of all time, including some of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's shows. The MCU's TV expansion began with WandaVision, a one-of-a-kind miniseries that completely changed Wanda, Elizabeth Olsen, and Vision's, Paul Bettany, story. WandaVision also introduced one of the MCU's most intriguing and entertaining characters in Agatha Harkness, Kathryn Hahn, who was given the show's biggest plot twist. Agatha's impact and popularity were such that she was given her own TV show, Agatha All Along, 3 years after her debut in WandaVision. Agatha All Along has a similar tone to WandaVision, but it's also surprisingly like Doctor Who. Both shows have morally ambiguous characters with magical powers, shift styles and tones throughout their episodes, and have a certain level of self-awareness that makes them even more engaging. Agatha All Along is now one of Disney Plus' best fantasy TV shows, but its future in the MCU still isn't quite clear. Agatha All Along is the closest to a sequel to WandaVision. WandaVision followed Wanda and Vision as they lived in the town of Westview, where they had 2 sons, Billy and Tommy, and were seemingly living the perfect family life. Unfortunately, it was all a lie, as Westview was a creation of Wanda after her outburst of chaos magic, provoked by grief, which rewrote reality and transformed the town, trapping its residents in Wanda's new reality. Agatha infiltrated the Hex and took the role of the nosy neighbor Agnes, when, in reality, she wanted to get to the source of Wanda's powers. At the end of WandaVision, Agatha was defeated by Wanda, who trapped her in her Agnes persona and left her powerless in the now free Westview. Agatha All Along takes place 3 years later, with Agatha escaping with the help of Rio Vidal, Aubrey Plaza, and Agatha goes on to form a new coven. Wanda's story after WandaVision continued in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which gave her a controversial ending, but on TV, Agatha All Along is the closest there is so far to a sequel to WandaVision. Agatha All Along is a lot more like WandaVision than Multiverse of Madness in terms of tone, and it addresses the fate of WandaVision's villain and other characters, such as Westview resident Sharon and Wanda's son Billy. Agatha All Along also expanded a branch of the MCU that hadn't been explored before and, unfortunately, has been forgotten, this universe's witches. Wanda is gone, but as Agatha All Along proved, there are many other witches in the MCU with interesting stories worth exploring. Will Agatha All Along get a second season? Credit, Disney Plus via MovieStills.db. Agatha All Along was well received by critics, currently holding an 84% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, but as has happened to many other great MCU TV shows, including WandaVision, its future isn't bright. The ending of Agatha All Along perfectly sets up a second season, but, at the time of writing, a second season is nowhere near development. Agatha All Along is the second installment in a planned trilogy that started with WandaVision and will end with VisionQuest, to be released in late 2026. Because of this, there are no signs of a second season of Agatha All Along, with producer Brad Winderbaum saying in 2025 that they would need a strong story to make a second season, as they don't want to rush production, via EW.